Welcome everybody. It's my Cabinet of Curiosity day. So I'm going to pull out at random one of the drawers from our amazing ancient cabinet, which contains treasures going back over 40 years. Shall I do it?
Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it. Which one are you going to do today?
So we're in row 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go.
Okay.
Yay!
2.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Oh, Sheila, some real little goodies in here.
This
is a good one. Oh my gosh, this is
definitely a good one.
This is.
Yeah, we could be here for a while.
Oh, can I start with Robbie's?
You carry on.
Oh,
you carry on. That is so cute.
How many of you, if you do have children,
that is so cute,
keep your babies' sweaters? No.
That's
wow. So my son's 31 now, so I think I made this for him when he was 1.5 or 1. And it then got lent to my friend Bridget's children, and it went through them.
Yeah.
And
so
eventually came back. It's cotton glacé.
It's in cotton. I was going to say it's
Rowan
in
cotton glacé.
Yeah, with some.
So she's 30 years old.
Some really nice Intarsia and
knit weave.
Yeah. Really
and
lovely.
Little horn buttons on the neck. So a little bit like a Gansey with.
It's not every 18-month-old that has a sweater, a designer.
No, little button
designer
loops.
Sweater. It's not every 18-month-old.
One of my favourite little things.
I hope he appreciated it. Do you think he appreciated it?
Well,
I'm sure he would, because he's a good guy.
He stopped wearing wool when he was 7.
Yeah, but this is cotton.
It was cotton. So he had lots of cotton.
Yeah.
And I just threw loads of colours in and changed all the colours in there.
Yeah.
Dare I look at my knitting?
Yeah, I've had a wee look.
It's actually not horrendous
because
at all.
you know what happens. I always.
That's really quite nice.
I look at the back.
I was obviously on a good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good thing there.
Very nice. Very nice.
And Bridget very kindly brought it back.
Love the colours.
And there it is, tucked away
for posterity.
Yeah, and that pattern actually, I made a full length. I still have the paper pattern for that. And actually Bridget's mum, who's a wonderful artist on Skye, she swapped. I made her one and she gave me a beautiful painting. Oh. The days of lovely swaps.
Yes.
And she still has it. It's one of her favourite sweaters.
Yeah. It's like a sort of barter economy, isn't it?
Barter, yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Works
absolutely.
so well with knitting. Works so well.
So then
Sheila. Well, do you remember? Yes. Yeah. So
that is lovely, isn't it?
Before I really knew dye, and when you had your shop and studio in St Andrews where I live, I bought a kit. You weren't in the shop that day, but I bought a kit to knit lovely abstract jacket, and I've always loved it ever since. So it's
was that
cabling.
In the Knitter magazine?
It was in the Knitter. Yes.
I think it's that issue 1.
And that's how I got to know about you, because I just moved back from the south of England and I, had time on my hands. So lots of different cabling popping up in different places with interesting shapes outlined in moss. And that's the premise of it, isn't it?
It is. It's like a sea surface. It's like the surface of the sea.
So you've got different waves and different ins and outs.
Yeah.
And it struck me because I'd never actually seen anything quite as abstract, to use one of your favourite words.
Yeah.
Quite as abstract as this.
Yeah. And each sleeve was different.
Yes. And so there were, in the pattern, there were, I think, 4 charts, and sometimes you knitted them from the bottom of the chart to the top, and other
Yeah.
times you turned the page round and knitted it from
the other way.
knitted it the other way, which was very economical for the publishers. And I was just fascinated by this. And so when we get a new yarn or a new colour into the studio, one of the things I really like to do to see how it takes texture is to knit a bit of those original charts.
We must revisit that.
So yes, well,
we've been going to do for ages.
We have. So
that's a great reminder.
People that like cable and texture generally, and
don't like knitting the same thing twice.
And how the cable brings it in, and then the moss takes it back out again.
Because I did that. So the jacket had lovely structure.
Yes.
So the cabling was used to bring in.
It did. I have one.
And and it had lovely fluted sleeves with cable edges. Wow. Okay. So, well, this is a very interesting small piece. Yeah.
The striped ivy.
That's a very interesting small piece.
The striped ivy.
Actually, I'll put it the right way up. So this it's
a sample for La Fetiche, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
So this actually is in we often get to use all sorts of exciting yarns for our fashion clients. Cotton cashmere, very, very nice. But also it's a nice DK. And it's got a classic pattern of cable with a little bit of lace.
We've talked about this before, haven't we? Lace and cable. In many ways a very traditional thing, but actually there's nothing wrong with that, because it is beautiful. And here obviously the stripe has been putted in, and it made our knitting lives, the designer made our knitting lives a bit more interesting by putting contrasting stripes.
And also because the tension is so different on the stocking stitch stripe section to the cable and lace.
So it was
and you're transitioning.
But it was a mix then of bits of Intarsia along with
the stripes,
the lace and the cable.
Yeah.
So it did become a different garment.
Yeah, it was a beautiful garment actually. That really, really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So socks. Whoa.
Yes, these are the Hockney, aren't they?
Hockney. This was for La Fetiche.
For La Fetiche.
This is one of our samples. And so a lot of people don't understand that I get asked by designers to source and find colour particularly and particular yarns. And so we often ask indie dyers to dye up small batches for us to match very specific colour requirements. And that pink actually it's a stitch shop in London. And silk merino, and she dyed quite a lot for us, which is really nice, being able to use artisans and other makers and tie them in. And we had a lovely woman in London who helped knit up the socks for us, who was a champion sock knitter.
Latterly, yes.
Latterly.
We did all the original ones ourselves.
So we've got a combination of Intarsia stripes, jobless stripes. Sheila.
Yeah. Well, there we go. This is what.
So what do you do?
Well, I just do a really straightforward thing. I know that there are all sorts of things available online, but I just if I were knitting, say, the first grey stripe here, I would have joined my yarn in. I would do the round, and then on the second row of the grey, I would slip the first stitch. And then at the end, I would give it one of my famous tugs, just to
make sure there's not a loopy.
Just to align,
loopy loop.
Just to align everything. So then, when I went back after that row, when I changed back to the pink, I would knit the full round.
Yes.
And then I would slip the first stitch of the second round of pink.
And that allies it all.
And that's just
lines it all up.
It's just and then even if you forget and you've got 6 rows, you know, you can do it. You can do it a bit later, but that's how I tend. That's how I tend to do it.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Really, really, really special. So, what have we got here? We've got back to Gansey
in Shetland.
Yeah. Now, what was that for?
What was that for? Well, obviously, it's one of the samples from the book, but it's not one that.
It's not knitted in our Lalland.
No. So, gosh,
was it the Sorcia?
We would need to think back. I think it was the Sorcia. I mean, obviously, it's one of our favourite Tree of Life patterns designs, and this is similar to the format I did for the book, but it's got a much thicker border. It's got a lot of moss there. So one of us, I don't think it was me, but it could have been. One of us must have knitted this, probably to try out a different yarn, because we like to give different yarns that come in. We like to give them a good space, a good trial, not just a little 10 centimetre square.
No,
ever.
No,
ever.
We were talking about that at the weekend as well,
we
weren't we? Because we taught a class.
We were.
And 2 things that stand out was the tension work we were talking about. And maybe later you could do a little film on your magic cast off.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find something to cast off.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Okay.
That was a very good workshop. It was absolutely lovely. So here we have. Oh, wow! This is more current, isn't it?
Yes.
Got,
yes.
So this is for La Fetiche, but you can see we're working with putting drop stitches in.
This was for a Chanel type jacket, very, very petite, but with lots of colour and
lots of colour changes.
Some drop stitches here just to lighten it a bit. Lots of combinations of colour. You were knitting, and not just combinations of colour, but actually different thicknesses as well.
Yes.
So there's a wee bit of going in and out.
Yeah.
Which the designer particularly wanted.
Yeah, that was pretty.
So that was a bit of a play that you had, really, wasn't it?
It was playing. I do love playing
until you got to somewhere that you were.
And knit. I just think knitting should be about playing. I mean, that's where all the design ideas come. It's where you realise you can just throw in a drop stitch and see how the yarn reacts and what it looks like.
We're big fans of drop stitch. We were talking about it on more than one day last week.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We ended up talking about it quite a bit.
I do love this. I did publish a beautiful little vest pattern.
Yes.
With this was the border pattern for it, and I just sampled it. And then it was all over little teardrops,
Right. I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, you'd have never seen it. I
don't think I've ever seen it.
It was so fine and so beautiful.
Because when you picked it up, I thought, oh, that's an older version of the Danish rose, but it's not.
No, it was very delicate. And so I made it. It was when I was on Sky, and it was very fine.
So yes, it is very fine. So was it what was it? A 2-ply?
I think it was a JC Rennie cashmere something.
Right. It has a nice.
It's got a lovely feel.
Has a nice wee handle to it. Right?
So I made it, and I finished the pattern, and I had the sample. I hadn't quite finished the pattern, and I had the sample in the studio. And a lovely friend was leaving to go back to Australia. She was from the opal mining area, Cooper PD. Veronica, lovely, lovely person. And she came to say goodbye. And she saw it
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "Oh gosh, that's lovely. Can I try it on?"
Mm-hmm.
She tried it on and she looked so beautiful. I just said, "Please have it."
Oh,
And she went, and of course my sample had gone.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I just never revisited the pattern. So it's Veronica's pattern. I've got the chart.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But none of the notes about the sizing or anything.
Okay.
That's all I've got left.
It is beautiful. Well, lots of memories, obviously.
Yeah. Very
lots
nice.
Of memories.
Some things come, some things go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to let go sometimes, don't we?
Maybe meant to be. We do let go quite a lot.
Oh, and I think we've talked about, this is kind of abstracted Fair Isle. I love doing. So that's breaking down the squares pattern into, they look like, I don't know, something that's broken apart, that's been shattered.
Lozenges of something.
Yeah. And again, I just love doing that, kind of everything on a slant. You can see at the back there. Breaking down normal. This was originally a set of squares, like little cubes, and then the pattern obviously is disintegrated and broken down into these odd shaped. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like abstract knitting.
Yes.
You never know when you're starting off where it's going to go. Maybe it's like that. Yeah. You never know quite where you're going to put your next.
Yeah.
It's like tossing a coin.
It's interesting trying to standardise things like this. They're quite hard to.
Well, that's kind of your side.
They're quite hard to standardise. You know, if we end up needing to do production on something like that, then obviously it can be quite challenging.
Sorry,
no.
But I do love it.
I
do love it. I love it. So I mean, so this is something we're doing at the moment, but it's for somebody else, and that's more a kind of Sanquhar style, which I love.
And it's much more
standardised.
Much more standardised.
Knittable.
If we want to use that word. I mean, very, very beautiful, very traditional.
Yeah. Chunky though.
Yes, absolutely.
Chunky. So I just knitted that sample, which the designer absolutely loved. So that's going into production, but it's a fab design. And it shows you the difference between breaking it down and keeping it absolutely.
Yeah, it's a fab design. It's a substantial. Regular. It's going to be a substantial piece in every way.
So this is quite an interesting story. So this is like a take on entralac.
Yes. What was that for?
So, well, it ended up being, she dives in.
Ta-da! Well, yes, it ended up being this amazing project we did with a designer.
Yeah. Alex Gore-Brown.
And in fact, in the final, so this was the very first sample. And in the final version, the diamonds, which are in fact Gansey gussets.
These are Gansey gussets.
All knitted separately. They were different colours. They were all these beautiful colours. Harlequin colours.
And so you can see at the bottom where the sleeve was fluted, we've got my idea was that we had the bigger diamonds. As you progress up to get the shaping, the diamonds reduce in size.
They start big and then they
get smaller.
And needle
changes.
And size of gusset, maximum number of stitches before you start going in.
Before you start going in. And then they were all embroidered together. The body was solid.
The body was, I was just about to say, but it knitted in beautiful diamonds.
Because I tried it originally. She wanted it in that.
Yes.
And, I just thought it's not sophisticated. It's not challenging. It's not really terribly interesting.
I mean,
but
the body was lovely, but the whole thing about this design was the sleeves.
And just using
really
the Gansey gusset, which you can see, is just perfect diamond, and just actually tying them all together just made these incredible sleeves. quite amazed. So that shows the design process for my little bit where I was like, got very frustrated, and I was like, no, this is not going to be an elegant, interesting, challenging hand knit, to where we finally got.
Mm-hmm. And we did a few of these. It was it was a production.
We did production.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
And then actually,
what else have we got?
Well, we've got this ancient. And actually, I think this is a free pattern on Ravelry. I think it is. It's a Gansey cowl poncho.
I've seen that worn as a kilt as well.
It's been worn as a kilt as well.
It's been worn as a kilt as well because it was.
Isn't it nice?
It was. Yeah, it's been quite a few things to different people. But it's got some lovely Gansey patterns.
It's got some lovely Gansey patterns,
and this is done in quite a substantial shet.
Chunky Aran.
Yes,
but you can actually download this pattern and have a go. And I
mean, you can do a big
You can make it as small or as big as you want.
Lovely poncho.
And you can see I love this technique. This was making it into a skirt. So I just got a ribbon, nice bit of tartan. So you could use this on Burns night. You could wear this on Burns. And I thread the ribbon through the rib, bunched up.
You're ruching.
You're ruching.
Technical term.
And then do a little knot. And that gives you like a little, if you wear it on your shoulders, if I pop it on.
Mind your needles.
Mind my needles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go.
I won't be tied into my planet otherwise. How's that look?
There you go.
Is that quite sweet?
There you go. That's it. That's how it sits with your ribbon.
I think that's quite sweet.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Absolutely. We need layers at the moment.
It's cold.
It's a bit
in Scotland at the moment. But anyway, yes, if you want to have a little go at some really nice Gansey patterns, or even do a little bit of ruching.
We like that, don't we?
We do. So yeah, just disentangle
see
myself.
If you can disentangle yourself.
That was quite momentous.
There's who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
So we've done, Robbie, yes, there's Robbie's little things, socks. You can see all the different types of yarns that we get through. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah. Was that for, so it's the Northern Star. That's one of your stars, isn't it?
Is that? It's the compass.
Oh, the compass.
It's the compass. So this is from the Polar design. This was me just making up a new pattern for a compass. And the Polar design is a pattern for a Gansey for women, because women in boats, not a great thing for men. It's supposed to be bad luck. But I thought all these polar explorers were going with their Ganseys. And I just thought about women going and having their own pattern. So
the great thing about this design, and we've done it in the past, and knitters have made up their own, haven't they?
They have.
So they've done colour versions.
Yes. So you can put colour in
which look really amazing. Where the reverse stocking stitch is, you can do that in a different colour. And in fact, what we've seen them do and what we've done here is that for this motif, which occurs really just about here, they have the colour.
That would look really nice just sewn on there.
You want to patch me?
Yeah.
So they have this version on the front, and then on their back they have the colour version.
They have the colour version.
Isn't that smart?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved
Isn't that
one.
Really smart.
Yeah, it's really nice.
At some stage we're going to have to do something with all these samples, although we love to take them out and talk talk
talk
about
about
them.
them, like
Yeah.
little Gansey.
Yeah, we've tried a few things in the past. Well, these are your very basic wrist warmers.
Yeah. With flag patterns.
I mean, it's the great thing about these,
Mm.
whether they have fingers or thumbs or nothing at all. The great thing about them is that they do keep your wrists warm, and
they
if you can keep your wrists warm,
that's the most important thing.
It's really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm just going to keep that on now.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I think thank you so much for joining us in this rather crazy draw.
It is quite. It's
been a really good draw.
It has been a really good draw. And there's still one or two things that never mind. We'll come back to them.
Yeah. Thank you, and I hope you come and join us again for another episode from the Cabinet of Curiosities in the studio. And thank you for joining.
See you soon. Bye.